struggling.
I want winners.
Show me the money!
Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Boom. All right, how you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 28th. Hope you have yourself a good start to your wacky Wednesdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the friends at World Series of Handicapping.com. Sign up today. You can still be eligible to win the weekly prizes. Go 7-0 and pick sides or totals. Go 7-0 and you will win a 1-year membership right here at ATSstats.com. Also, today's show is brought to you by BullpenPicks.com. Follow the top baseball pickers on the net right here at BullpenPicks.com. And hockey season's right around the corner. Preseason's underway, and you can sign up and make your hockey preseason picks right now at HockeyPicks.com. So follow the top pickers at Bullpen Picks and Hockey Picks, and hopefully they provide you some nice winning selections on that day. All right, hope you have yourself a good start to your Wacky Wednesday. My name is Ron Raymond, a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's a pretty nippy day here in the nation's capital. It's about 13 degrees and it's overcast, but hopefully it's nice and sunny where you're at, and hopefully you're having yourself a good start to your day. I got a great show lined up for you guys here today. We're going to go over an article that I did yesterday, and I keep talking about value, right? Where's the value? Is this team overvalued, undervalued? And I did a little bit of research yesterday on a workshop Wednesday. That's what I think I'm going to call the Wednesdays, a workshop Wednesday. And I'll put on my my coach's hat and my whistle and get my clipboard ready and get you guys some great information. Also, I'm going to introduce the law of average theory, and you don't want to miss that segment. And we're going to have a lot of fun here today, right, Rex?
Can we have fun? You're damn right.
I demand that we have fun. And we will have fun today on the Raymond Report. And again, I want to thank everybody who tunes in each and every morning and making this part of your routine at 10:30 Eastern, Monday to Friday. This is where you hang my hat, and you can find me each and every day. And if you don't miss the show, don't worry. The replay is always on our YouTube channel, or you can also download us on your favorite platform, wherever you download your podcasts. And it could be Apple, Spotify, wherever you download your podcasts, or just go to Google, type in Ron Raymond, the Raymond Report Sports Betting Podcast, and you will find our show each and every day, Monday to Friday, right here with the regular bullpens. And that is the Ramblers and Gamblers here at the bullpen, which we call our chat box, where people come in and chat each and every morning. And I see F is the first one in. Hey, F, how you doing? The Pearls coach. Hey, the Pearls have been treating us to all winners circles appearance on the daily. Thank you so much. Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, straight cash, and let's get winners, right, Mike?
I want winners.
I want winners, and I want to give you guys winner each and every day. Bo Jackson's in the house. Hopefully he's okay after that little bit of a loss last night for the Blue Jays.
Straight cash, homie.
He wants the straight cash. Hopefully Blue Jays can secure a W today after the New York Yankees clincher. And yeah, who's Mizzou's in the house? Good morning, Bullpen Show. Show me the pearls, baby. Hey, show me the
money!
Yeah, show me the money. I need a soundbite that says "Show me the pearls," right? And if you're tuning in for the first time, you're saying, "Well, what's with these pearls things?" Right? So a good friend of mine in the industry back in the early 2000s, Greg Dempson. We used to talk every morning, and he goes, "Oh, I gotta let you go. I gotta give out the pearls." And I go, "What? The pearls? What's the pearls?" He goes, "Oh, the picks." He goes, "My picks are that's what I call my picks, my pearls." So yeah, he goes, "You can be a Nobel Peace Prize winner if you don't give them the pearls, baby. They don't come back." And Greg is a character. All right, so we do have a great show lined up, as I said, and I always look forward to rambling with you guys here today. And you know, Wednesdays are a fun day for me because Tuesday I do a lot of research, and then I come in and introduce a new theory. Well, it's not new, but you know, just a way to handicap and way to open your mind. And the one thing with this show, have an open mind, right? Because if you're negative right off the bat and you don't believe in it, then you're just shutting yourself out to learning, right? And that's the key. This key is as the top of the banner says, teach, win, repeat. Hey, good friend Gloria K came up with that. I love that saying. Teach, win, repeat, and hopefully we can teach you guys some new stuff here today. All right, let's get on with the show, and looking forward to today. And the first thing on the agenda is always the sports betting fundamentals. In fact, let me go to my toolbox right here. Let me go to my sports betting tips, and let's get to the fundamentals of the REM report. And the REM report is a sports betting tip sheet, which fundamentals are value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and I use a disciplined money management system. You can find the REM report each and every day right here at atsstats.com. And during the show today, you're going to hear me talk about A, B, and C type teams. A type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. B type teams are teams with a 50 to 59.9 win percentage. And what comes with B type teams is a moderate public confidence and medium rewards. And C type teams, and you know the rules, we don't bet on C type teams.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never, never.
Never, never. Well, we try not to anyways. Those are teams with a 49.9 or lower win percentage. And you know that comes, right? It comes with low public confidence, but high rewards. Team performance cycles, instead of talking about 3, 4, 5 game streaks, I look at streaks in a different lens. Teams that are bullish, neutral, or bearish. And you can see right here on the YouTube channel, if you're watching on the YouTube channels, teams at NFL, college football, CFL, if they're bullish, that means they are 3-0. If they're bearish, they're 0-3. And in Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, teams that are bullish, they are 7-0, 6-1, 5-2 in their last 7 games. And teams that are bearish, 0-7, 1-6, 2-5, and I don't bet on bearish teams.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Never, never, we don't do that. All right. Also, the 10 commandments of sports betting. These are my golden rules. Thou shalt not bet big money on C-type teams in the REM report. Never lay points. I'll bet the money line, or I'll take the points, or I'll take the over-under. Never bet on double headers in baseball.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Nope, never, never. Follow a disciplined money management system. Never force to pick because you need action on the game. Find another way to scratch that itch. Never chase a losing bet on a bad day. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. You're trying to beat the number, not score points in your fantasy league. And that's the difference between sports betting and fantasy. You're trying to beat the bookmaker's number, right? It's not Kansas City against Green Bay. It's your number against the bookmaker's number. And your objective each and every day is to crush his number. Never bet against A-type teams who are bullish at home.
No, you don't do that.
Nope, you don't do that. The 24-hour rule of betting. Take a day off after a big win, and I can't stress this enough. You know, when you had a big win, you just like F had on the weekend with that was it 7 or 10 team parlay there. F had a great win. Take the next day 24 hours off. Enjoy the win, because you never know when you're gonna get that next win. And never bet a team who's on a bullish bearish cycle. Yeah, you want to bet bullish cycles. Don't bet on teams who are in a bearish cycles. Let them work out that losing streak.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never, never.
Why not?
Against the rules.
Against the rules.
You know, you're stupid when you do that.
Well, I don't know if you're stupid, but it's probably a good idea not to bet on bearish teams. All right, the management, the disciplined money management system that I use, A, B, and C type teams in the REM report, and you can see the away teams and the home teams. What you want to do is look at the team, the type of team they are, what cycle they're in. I just talked about that, and there's the units I recommend when you are wagering on those teams. All right, we got through that, the sports betting 101, and I love to each and every day I love going through that. You know why? Because if you don't go back to your fundamentals, because how many times you've done this at the end of the night and you're going, what did I miss? Why did I bet on that team? I should have known better. Hey, how many times have you said that to yourself? Man, I should have known better. Why did I bet on that? It was just I was being foolish, and I thought I thought I was better than the system, right? And you don't do that, because you don't do that, you don't make the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yeah, no playoffs for you. But yeah, so stick to you got to have a game plan, right? If you don't have a game plan, like Mike Tyson says, everybody has a game plan till they get punched in the mouth. Well, you don't want to get punched in the mouth by your bookmaker. You want to punch them in the mouth. And always remember, bookmakers are not your friend. They're there to make money, just like you are there to make money, right? All right, so that is the 10 commandments of sports betting. And don't forget, again, sign up at the World Series of Handicapping.com Pro Football Contest. Get those picks in. Lines are up. The Make Picks link will be available today. I believe it's 3 o'clock Eastern. You'll be able to make your picks today. We got to let all the the early line movement get out of the way first, and at 3 o'clock you can start making your selections right here at the Raymond Report or on WorldSeriesHandicapping.com. All right, let's get to the next agenda on the docket, and the top, a little change up here this week. It's a wacky Wednesday. I said, you know what, I'm going to change it up here today. Let's go to your top sports betting options today for Major League Baseball. But before I do that, I see a couple of ramblers and gamblers there sneaking in by the back door. I see It's a Maine's World. Good morning, Jermaine Brown. Hey, hopefully you're getting a lot of sleep at night, Jermaine. I know had a new born, about 3 weeks ago? Hopefully everything is good. OG Wheat's in the house, the ATL. Great morning, great people. Had some yard duties the last couple of days, but we are present today. Let's have some pearls, Coach. Hey, you know what? I saw a great quote. Raking the lawn, right? Everybody's part of your responsibilities, right? Everybody's got to rake their own lawns, and that's I just, when you got a great quote and you just can't get it off the tip of your tongue, it just bothers me. But hey, you know what? Yard duty. If you're close to the north of the border, and I'm pretty sure that people who all the leaves, our leaves are still up in the trees right now, but in a couple of weeks they're going to start falling, and every man's got to rake his own leaves, or every woman, right? But we're getting to that process of the season. Who's got Sessa in the Reds today? C team playing, says Timmy Two Shoes. Hey, Timmy Two Shoes, don't you know the rules? Hey, Timmy.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh no, never, never.
Why?
How you doing there, Eric? Eric Jones in the house, and still no sleep, says Jermaine Brown. Yeah, so hey, you know what? It comes with the responsibilities, eh? All right, so let's take a look at Major League Baseball today and your top 5 Major League Baseball options. Now, if you are new to the Raymond Report and you're wondering what exactly is the top 25 betting options, and why does he call it options? Why doesn't he just call it picks, right? Well, in the stock market, when you're looking to buy some stocks, and I don't know if people are doing that right now these days. Hey, not a lot of confidence in the markets, but I look at teams like assets, right? I look at Milwaukee today, who's ranked number 5th. That would be like buying into a Ford, right? Ford or GM or Pepsi or Tesla. Well, maybe not a Tesla, because Tesla is a pretty good price, but number 5, Milwaukee. Now, if you look at the top, we have the odds and the total in this column, the teams that are playing, the cycle that team is in, and the strength of schedule right here, how they've been doing the last 7 games against those teams, and how do they do against the A, B, and C type teams, which I talked about at the top of the show. Teams on a streak, what's their losing streak? They're on a 2-game losing streak. Season record, home and away, and the DMVI. What does DMVI stands for? The Daily Market Value Index. And what you want to do is you always take the DMVI and compare it to the bookmaker's line to see if you have value today. And you know what? When you look at this line right here, it tells you what type of streak that team is in, right? So right now, you look at the Milwaukee Brewers, neutral 9 days, 155 and 150. So because they're neutral, means they're 3-4, 4-3 in their last 7. So from a market psychology point of view, right? Think like a bookmaker, like my good friend Ross Benjamin says, who'll be on the show tomorrow. Milwaukee's in that that even setting, right? In their last 7 games, they're not winning a lot, not losing a lot. They're just on the fence, right? And that's why the DMVI is so important, to see if you got value on that team. And the Cal, which stands for chances of winning, and we have them winning today at 59.4% against the St. Louis Cardinals. Number 4, a C-type team in Miami. They have a 30.1% chance of winning today. You got the Halos taking on the Oakland Athletics, 2 C-type teams. Hey, we don't bet on C-type teams.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh no, never, never.
No, don't do that. Oakland, and there's the Angels. And sometimes you're going to get these teams in back-to-back situations, right? That's because they're both neutral. They're both going through a good cycle. But here's what you got to look for, the indicator that maybe gives you the edge, right? And if you think about this, now Oakland is at LA, so LA is at home, and when you look at their home record on the year, 35-41, and for the A's, 30-46. but the chance of winning does favor the Angels, and that's why it's important to look at this column right here and look at all the indicators, right? Look at the strength of schedule, 24%, 59%. Oakland's battle tested. Look at that, 59%, where Angels are playing a lot of C-type teams in their last 7 games. And your number one option today is the Baltimore Orioles at -105 against the Red Sox, another C-type team. Baltimore's been neutral 15 days. Strength of schedule, really battle tested at 63%. And against those B-type teams, they win 50% of the time. Their last 4 games have gone over the total. They are 36-40 on the road. Not a great road record. And if you look at their DMVI, the Daily Market Value Index, I had them listed at -123, -105. So you're getting a bit of a haircut here, a little bit of discount. And we have a 46.9% chance of winning today for Baltimore. And that is your top 5 sports betting options today in Major League Baseball. All right, let's take a look at the SBI, which stands for Sports Betting Index, and the SBI today in week number 3. Hey, dogs are, as Norm Peterson would say, right, Normie?
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and
I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. And the dogs, they're barking. Look at that. This year, 56.3%. And look at the unders. And today's workshop, you're going to love it because I'm going to concentrate on totals in, what's the old saying in the stock market? Or in sports betting? What goes up must come down, right? And I got a good analysis on the total for week number 4 of the NFL. 65.9% of all NFL games this year have gone under the total. So what does that tell you from a bookmaker's point of view? Got to do a better job of getting that to a 50-50 split, right? I got to maybe, if I'm a bookmaker, say, okay, obviously my number is not there. I got to, tinker with my number, get more people betting the over this week so I can balance out that number, because if this continues to rise, what do you think is going to happen? Everybody's going to bet the under every week, right? So the bookmaker's job, start balancing out the numbers, right? And that is the SBI in the NFL. College football, last week, 78.5% of the favorites won straight up, but only covered 44%. So neutral market. And again, if you're a bookmaker, you just want to see a lot of yellow, a lot of neutral in this column right here. And if you're looking at the season average for the over-unders, 50-50. Look at that, 50-50. Doing a good job in college football, not so much in the NFL. And we look at the CFL, the Canadian Football League, for my Canuck friends out there. You can see the CFL teams straight up factor on the favorites, 66%. But guess what? Only covering the spread at 47.4. So a little bit of work to be done in that department. But good job on the over-under. 53% of the over has come in on the CFL games this season. And when you look at the 7-day average in Major League Baseball, neutral markets neutral markets for the favorites when it comes to Major League Baseball. And good job on the over-under. So you know what? Except for the NFL, bookmaker needs to make a little bit of adjustment in that number. But we always look at the markets, right? Always look at the markets. All right, Bo Jackson wants homies. Yeah, let's give him some homies.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, straight cash, homie. Doing great, OG. 4-0 this week for F. So F's on a tear right now. Hey, F. Hey, good job.
Show me the money!
Yeah, show us the money there, F. You're making a killing right now. All right, let's take a look at the ATS standings in all sports. And it's always good to go back and look at the standings to see what's going on. Let's start off with college football, and let's see what team is getting that.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash against the point spread. We all know who the best teams in college football are, right? You can see right there the teams that are 4-0. Washington, Ohio State, Tennessee. Hey, watch out for the Vols right now. USC Trojans, but start playing people, right? It's like Michigan. Okay, Michigan. Congratulations, you beat the MAC, and then you beat a Maryland team. Iowa, they got no offense. Hey, they got no offense. We'll see in October, though, if Michigan's for real, because they're going to start playing, teams like Penn State and all that. Kentucky, hey, Stoops doing a great job there. Alabama Crimson Tide, right there, eh? Little Keith Jackson right there, 4-0. Penn State doing a good job. UCLA Bruins, Chip Kelly, and there's the Wolverines also at 4-0. A lot of 4-0 teams, Clemson. But who's those teams against the point spread that you want to maybe keep an eye out, right? And this is like under the radar type teams, right? When you look at the college football, Minnesota 4-0 against the point spread. The Oregon State Beavers 4-0 against the point spread. Hey, UNLV Rebels, they beat Utah State last week. I had the Aggies, and I was a little disappointed in the Aggies right there. South Alabama 4-0 against the point spread. The two Washington teams are killing it right now. Washington Huskies 4-0 against the point spread. Troy 3-0. Now, some of these numbers you're going to see, well, you know what? I think Troy's 4-0. I'm only monitoring line games, right? And then if the feed doesn't have it, then we don't have that feed. Wyoming 3-2. But yeah, these are the teams right now doing a good job. And if you look at the overs in college football, teams that have gone over all the time: Washington, Ohio, Memphis, UTSA, the Roadrunners, Northern Illinois, the Huskies, and there's Bowling Green. They're playing a lot of overs, and the team's playing a lot of unders right now. Florida Atlantic, Colorado State. What's going on with those Rams, man? Holy crap, they've fallen off the college football chart. Arizona State Sun Devils, Utah State, those are all unders. The Texas A&M, they did no offense over there in Texas A&M. The Aggies, Michigan 0-4. Again, play somebody, right? And Ole Miss 0-4 to the under. And let's take a look at the NFL, the National Football League. And let's take a look at the standings through week number 3 and going into week number 4. And there's only 2 undefeated teams right now, and that's the Eagles and Dolphins. Imagine if they showed up in the Super Bowl, right? Eagles, you know what? I'm sold. I wasn't sold the first 3 weeks, but now I'm sold on the Eagles, and they're a pretty good football team. Against the point spread, who are the best teams in the NFL against the point spread? Dolphins, Lions, and Falcons are your top teams right now against the number. And the teams that go over the total, you got Cleveland, Atlanta, Detroit. Those are teams that play overs. And look at all the unders. And what do you expect, right? When the line is at 65% to the under, Packers, Giants, Bengals, Bucks, Broncos, Cowboys, 49ers, and Colts all playing under. And this is the thing I really like here is the type of teams in the Raymond Report. Now, I'm always talking about the type of teams, right? The A, B, and C type teams in the Raymond Report. Look at the A type teams and look at their home record. A type teams have won 73.9% of their games straight up. But what's impressive is they're also winning 68.1% of their games on the road. And if you look at the C type teams only winning 30% of their games at home and 29.1 on the road. So again, why would you bet on C-type teams when I've been pounding the drums the last 3 years? Bet on A and B type. If you want to sum up the Raymond Report in a nutshell, bet A and B type teams and you will see your bankroll increase, right? So if that's probably the tip of the day right there. Bet A and B type teams in the Raymond Report and you will do very, very well. Also, let's take a look at Major League Baseball, and you can see right here. Actually, you know what? Go to CFL for my Canadian friends. Look at the type of teams in the CFL. And if you're looking to bet on CFL, where do you bet? A-type teams. Home teams, 61.4. But look at this, 78.5% A-type teams on the road. Toronto, Calgary, the BC Lions, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on the road, they have won a combined 22-6, and this is where the value lies. If you're looking to bet on Canadian football, bet on the A-type teams when they play on the road. They win 78.5% of their games, and take the money line. If the money line's attractive, pounce on it, right?
Show me the money!
Show you the money, and let's get to the Major League Baseball. Let's see if we got any money to be made in Major League Baseball. We all know the top teams, right? Only 2 teams with 100 wins. That's the Dodgers and Astros. And if you look at the A-type teams in Major League Baseball, only 5 of them. The Yankees, Braves, Mets, Astros, and Dodgers. And you can see they've won 68.8% of their home games and winning 59.8% of their road games. And at home, the B-type teams, 58.1%, but only 51.8% on the road. And this is why I bet on A and B type teams, not so much B type teams on the road. And look at the C type teams. Again, why would you bet on C type teams when on average they're winning about 42% of their games home and away? And this is why you watch the Raymond Report, right? To get this kind of pearls, baby. This is where we give you guys the pearls each and every day. And to take a different approach to your sports betting, Get inside the numbers, and less is more. When you start breaking down things, and I'm going to show you a great way later on in the show. It's called my law of average theory, and I'm going to show you on a very busy college football Saturday what is the best way to do a process of elimination to eliminate some of your picks that you're watching or games that you're watching, and I'll show you how you can get to a handful without really hurting yourself when it comes to cashing out. All right, let's get to the today's workshop. But before I do that, a little breather right here and talk to the bullpen. And just sticking to the game plan from teaching. Hey, teach, win, repeat, baby. That's what we do right here on the Ram Report. And I think Met fans might get a win today, says Timmy Two Shoes. Say best. Hey, isn't that the best username in the chat board? With all respect to everybody, how do you not love a guy named Timmy Two Shoes, right? OG Wheat, yeah. Let me see here. Sticking to the game plan. And so all right, let's get to today's workshop. And today I'm going to go down to the NFL. And the way, if you want to get this chart, I'm going to see what it looks like on the screen. If it's too small, I'll bring up my Excel sheet and I'll make it a little bit bigger. Hey, when you get over 50, your eyesight goes to crap. All right, which NFL teams are over/under valued in week number 4? And you just click on it, and you'll see this chart right here. Yeah, it's pretty small. So let me bring up my my Excel sheet right here. I think this will be a little bit better. I'm going to see what it's like here on the on my screen. And I think it's too small. Let me just double check here. We're on a 7-second delay from the live show to the screen. So I'm just going to see, yeah, way too small. All right, I'm hoping you guys can see this. And I think it's a little bit bigger. Can you guys see this a little bit better? Let me just check here on the Excel sheet here. And I'm just waiting for it to show up on the screen. But I think it might be a little bit better. Forgot my water today. Hey, I got a feeling my throat's starting to give out on me. All right, let me see here. I'm just waiting for the kick in right here. And still, I don't know if it's a 7 or 30-second delay. Hey, feels like I've been waiting here for like 30 seconds. But anyway, I'll get onto it. And then once I see it on the screen, I'll take a little peek to see if it's a little bit better. All right, so let's take a look at the matchup. So here's what I'm going to show you guys. Now, what I did is I got this strength of schedule database, right? And A, B, and C type teams. And if you're like me and you're looking at the you're looking at teams like A type teams, B type teams, how do they do when they're playing those other type of teams that look exactly like them, right? And let me just see here. Oh, you know what? You guys can't see this. Hang on. Let me, I'm going to have to, I'm just looking at this and I'm saying, how come I don't see that? I know why. I got to do this. All right. So give me 1 second here and let me do the browser. Yeah, I was wondering why it wasn't showing up. There we go. Perfect. All right. I think this is a little bit better. And let me just wait there. Yeah, I think this is the way it'll be better. I think you guys can see this. I was looking at the screen there. I'm saying, how come, it's not changing? I'm still seeing the old screen. I don't see my Excel sheet. And I think just waiting for the 7-second. There we go. All right. So it's a little bit too, let me do this. And yeah, let me just do another column right here. So this way, let me do 2. I'll try to center it for you guys. There we go. I think I'm a little bit better now. All right. So let's take a look at the number 1 here. You got Miami Dolphins taking on the Cincinnati Bengals this Thursday on Thursday Night Football. And what you can see is that the Bengals are a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is at 46.5. Now, if you're looking at the screen, you see these columns, right? Odds, VI, which stands for Value Index. I talk about all the time, right? Perception versus reality. SOS stands for Strength of Schedule. And what's the team's record against A, B, and C type teams in their last 10 games, right? Last 10 game is pretty recent. So, and then we have the value index down here, what that team is so far on the year. Bullish 16 days, neutral 2 days. Now, I'm gonna show you guys something in 2 segments, right? The sides and the totals. I'll get to the totals in just 1 second because, the bookmaker's job this week is to what? Get more people betting. They want people to bet the under, but they want the over to come in, right? I'm going to show you which game this weekend might be a better over opportunity for you guys. All right. So you look at here, an A against a C type team. Cincinnati, I can't believe Cincinnati's still a C type team, right? At 1-2. And then you got Miami, 3-0 on the year. Now, Rusty. There's Rusty there going off. All right, Rusty. Somebody walking in the front. All right, so you got the perception versus reality, right? Now, whenever Cincinnati's at home against an A-type team, the average line is -7.5. Now, you're saying, why is this in a red background, right? Because the line is 3.5. Now, to me, that's not a good thing. Because I'm looking at the line is normally 7.5. Why is it not 7.5 and only 3.5? And they're playing an A-type team, right? Well, when I look at the line, the bookmakers know that that's probably the limit that they can go. They can't go to 7.5 because the whole world will be on Miami, right? And look at Miami. When Miami's on the road against a C-type team, the average line is 7.2, and they're getting 3.5. So that is the reason why it's in green, because we're getting, that there's no way they're putting 7.5. So the advantage to me goes to the Dolphins on the line value, right? 3.5. Now, here's the other thing. The strength of schedule. Miami's is 3-0 against opponents with a 55.5 win percentage, but Cincinnati is 1-2, and look at their strength of schedule, 44.4. They got a losing record against cupcake teams, right? So that's a little bit of a concern for me. And here's the other concern. Cincinnati at home against those A-type teams in the last 10 games have only won 30% of their games. That's a little concerning to me. Hey, don't you guys agree? You got Cincinnati, 1-2 in a year. They're at home as a favorite. Their strength of schedule is 44.4, but they're only winning 30% of their games against A-type teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. And if you look at Miami, the line is at +3.5. We're getting I think a little bit undervalued line if you go by the past 10 games where they should be like a 7-point. But again, it's not the same Miami Dolphins team, so you got to keep that in mind when you're doing your observations. And the strength of schedule, hey, 55.5. They're coming off a big win though. That's the only thing from a situational handicapping point of view. Miami Dolphins coming off a big home win against the Buffalo Bills, and that was a game of attrition, right? Like everybody was going down. Not so much the Dolphins, but the Bills played 90 plays on offense. So the Bills are going to be a little bit battered this week against the Ravens, but the Dolphins should come in. They should be okay. And look at the Dolphins on the road against C-type teams. They only win 40% of their games. So do I see really any value in the side on this game, right? I don't. I'm not going to touch the side because when I look at the Cincinnati -3.5 with all these bad numbers pointing towards the Bengals, why, I'm being skeptical here, and I'm trying to think like a bookmaker. If their strength of schedule is 44% and the line is 3.5 when it should be 7.5, and they only win 30% of their games against those type teams, right away my antennas are up, okay? And for the Miami Dolphins, if it looks too good to be true, it might be too good, right? That's the old saying in sports betting. If it looks too good to be true, it might be true, right? And they're coming off an upset win over Buffalo. Is this a classic letdown for the Dolphins? And here's the other thing. Now we talked about the side. Let's talk about the total, all right? So the total is 46.5, and the perception is whenever Miami is playing on the road against C-type teams, the average total is 45, and when Cincinnati is on the road at home taking on those A-type teams, the average line is 46, and when you do an average, it comes up to 45.9. So it comes under the total of 46.5. But in reality, the final score, total combined score of the Dolphins on the road against C-type teams is normally 40, and for Cincinnati at home against those A-type teams, the average combined score of the final score is normally 51. And when you work out the average, it comes up to 45.8, which is below the number of 46.5. Now, I don't see a lot of, too close for comfort, right? Too close for comfort when I look at it from that angle. And you know what? If you're going to bet this line, the total, it looks like the under. And I hate going because the SBI, what is the SBI on so far? It's always on the under, right? So I don't know if I really like to bet the side or total of this game. And what's the old rule that we always talk about here at the Raymond Report? When in doubt, get out, right? So from a side perspective, the analytics don't, do nothing for me. And from a totals perspective, same thing, does nothing for me. Anyways, I wanted to break down one game specifically for you guys. So this way, when you go to the website and you want to do every game, now again, the one thing in sports betting, everybody wants the best analogy I give is the takeout orders, right? Everybody wants to go through the window, get their Happy Meal, and get going, right? In sports betting, it's like sitting down at a nice Italian restaurant or a nice steakhouse. You got to sit down, you got to wait for your meal, you got to do your time, and then, you got to be patient, right? And if you want something of value, you got to really look into the number. You got to roll up your sleeve, do the work, and that's what we do here at the Raymond Report, right? We do the work. And if you want to look at all the other games, and if you want to handicap it, just like I showed you right here, and what I'll do is I'll look at the total. Where's the value in the total? If I were to play some of the overs this week, I'm looking for overs, and here's what I'm going to do. So perception versus reality, this column right here. You want to take the perception angle. Now, what exactly is the perception angle? It's what the total is on those teams against their oppositions in the last 10 games. And on average, Minnesota Saints is normally 48, but on reality, there's 50 points scored, right? So that points to the over. But I'm looking for a clear-cut edge. I think Minnesota, New Orleans, I think there's some value there in the over. And what you want to do is compare this reality line with the bookmakers line, right? But keep in mind what the perception was going into that game. The bookmakers thought it'd be 48.8, but in reality, there was 50.7 points scored, so it went over, and this looks like a good over selection right here. And if Jameis Winston's on his A game and he doesn't throw those timely interceptions, we could, which also could lead to points, right? Could lead to pick six. All right, so Dallas against Washington, the total's 41.5, and look at that. Washington, look at the Dallas Cowboys. When Dallas is at home against C-type teams, they average 60.6 points per game. So, again, this is where my antennas are up, and if it looks too good to be true, it just might be. But, if the Dallas Cowboys are averaging 60.6 points per game, coming off a Monday night win, and the average line is normally 48, that's a 12-point difference right there. And the average score is 51 when you take Washington and Dallas's points combined. According to these numbers, it should fly right over the total, right? So, Dallas, Washington over the total. So, you might want to put a little note on that. This game here, Jacksonville Eagles, I don't see any value when it comes to the total. When I look at the Bears against the Giants, the 44 and 41, that's not a big difference right there, so I'm not going to touch that. Okay, Buffalo and when you think of Buffalo against Baltimore, what's your first instinct, right? Is under. And mine is anyways. Maybe it's because I'm still thinking that Ray Lewis is still playing for the Ravens with Ed Reed. I got to get out of that mindset, right? Are you like that, like me? Is that when you follow teams, you're still thinking of the past, that they got that great defense still there, but you got to wipe that off and have a clean slate, right? All right, so look at Buffalo against the Baltimore Ravens. The average line, when both these A-type teams are at home or on the road, the average line is 50, and it's 51.5, and the average reality score is 55. So this one could go over the total, and it's a good chance it might. New York against Pittsburgh, the 40.5 is the line. The reality is the line is normally 43, and the final score is normally 46. So that's a 3-point difference right there. So maybe the over is another way to look at it right there. So what you want to do is go to the website and look for the blue, right? Everything in blue points to over. So Pittsburgh Jets over, Chargers Texans over, Tennessee and Indianapolis, maybe the over right there. Cardinals Panthers, a good chance for the over. And again, because everything's been coming down under, and maybe the line is a little bit more forgiving this week to the over bettors, these are the games that you're going to want to track. So I'm going to keep this up on the website, and if you want to follow it, and if you want to see that are any of these games maybe have a chance to go over, and what you want to do is take the reality column and compare it to the total. So when I look at this, 46.5, I got 45, 50, and there's 40. There's a 7-point swing right there. So that could be a good, and maybe give yourself a rule, right? Anything with 5 plus, maybe you want to consider, right? 41, look at that, a 10-point difference. Again, because it's 10 points, my first instinct is like, that scares me a bit, right? 44 and 47, so we got an under in the Eagles Jacksonville, so maybe that's an under game right there. Everything in orange is an under recommendation. And you can see here, Chicago against the Giants, 41.9. The line's 38.5. 51.5, 55.2. I got 46.2, and I got 40.5 in the Jets Steelers. I don't know, man. But look at all the overs. Here's another one. This one might go under. Cleveland against the Falcons. The number's 49, and I got 47.8. So keep an eye. We'll you know what? We'll do a recap on Recap Monday to see how these totals do. And if it's worth tracking, I'll come back and I'll do it again. All right. So that is the workshop today. And I'll go back to my browser right now. Let me know what you guys think of that. If you enjoyed that, little segment. And again, teach, win, repeat. And that's, the one thing, just to get on here and talk about players and talk about picks, that doesn't really do anything for me sometimes. Sometimes you need the meeting of the minds, right? I believe in the meeting of the minds, and when you have a theory, and you put it out there, right? You stick it to the wall, see if it sticks. And if you have other great minds who think alike and they look into that and they say, you know what, might be onto something. You might want to tweak this. You might want to do that. And then we're onto something right there, right? I always say a betting system is like building up a robot, right? We're all building our robot and everybody's got a little bit of a say into the robot. Let me know what you guys think of that. Smash the like buttons if you do enjoy that. There's over 34 watching and only 6 likes. Yeah, what's up with that? The under is 22-10 this season in the NFL, highest rate since 1996. And so we talked about the SBI, right? All right, so I said, you know what? You guys are getting a daily double today. You're getting you're getting a daily double of workshops. And what do I mean by that? Well, Rusty, what's going on? He's always he's throwing me off here with the bark. All right, let me see the law of average pick. Let's go to my law of average pick. Now, this is something I picked up from my good friend Ross Benjamin. It's in my book. It's one of my top things in my book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, which you can get here on the website or on Amazon. A little shameless plug right there. But here's what I like. So what I do is I take a team. So let me go to college football. And what you want to do is print out this sheet. There's so many. I'm not going to go through all of them. You're going to have to print it out or come to the website. And here's the theory. The law of average theory is this. You want to play on a team that lost straight up and against the point spread versus a team that won straight up and against the point spread. And what's the ideal behind that, right? What's the theory behind that? Dopamines. Hey, dopamines. That's all I can get. That's probably the best word to say, because let's say Georgia Tech, I don't know if they won straight up last week, but I'll just use this as an example or Cincinnati Tulsa, right? All right, so I'll just use that as an example. What do you think the betting public is feeling if they see that Tulsa, maybe Tulsa Cincinnati is not a good one because Cincinnati is the favorite. Let me look at here. Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech. That'll be a good one. All right, so Georgia Tech taking, you know what? Let me, I got to get an underdog. Let me, I got to get a good example. If I'm going to give an example, I got to get a good one right here. All right, so let me use this one. This is a perfect one. New Mexico against UNLV. What are people thinking on this game, right? Hey, UNLV, they beat Utah State last week. Hey, you know what? People are feeling good. And what do recreational gamblers do all the time? They always look at the last game, right? Oh, they beat Utah State last week. They crushed them. They're going to kill New Mexico this week, right? New Mexico lost straight up and against the point spread last week. And you know what? They're not going to have a chance. And you don't think the bookmaker's thinking like that? So what the bookmaker does, he makes sure that he has a number, or they have a number that they post that you will get sucked into UNLV, knowing that everybody in the room is going to be betting on UNLV, but you post a number where against the the law of average theory that people are not going to bet a lot on New Mexico, and that's probably the law of average play of the day right there, right? So what you want to do is look for teams that won against the point spread straight up and against the spread last week versus a team that lost straight up and against the point spread, and now you got yourself a starting point. Because with 150 college football games, where do you start? Where do you really start picking your games? Like, if I'm looking at this college football board, I'm saying, oh my God, where do I even start here? you need a starting point, right? Like dominoes, you need that first domino to fall. And what you want to do is print this out, and then now you just eliminated probably half the schedule, and then you have to have your own process of elimination, right? And what you want to do is I put stars, and you're probably saying, okay, Ron, Utah State, BYU, why is there 2 stars right there? Why is there 2 stars? That means they've lost their last 2 against the point spread. So from a percentage play point of view, it gets a little bit stronger, right? That's why I put a star, because if it's only 1, then it's not as good. But if it's 2, 3, 4, like I don't know if there's any teams that lost 3-4 against the point spread. Let me take a look down here, and let me see. No, I don't see too many stars, eh? Nope, not too many stars. So hey, that tells me the bookmaker is doing a pretty good job balancing out the number. Only 1 team with 2 stars. Last week there was like a couple. All right, that's interesting. So in this column, all the teams straight up that won straight up and against the point spread versus the team that lost straight up and against the point spread, you're looking at Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, UTSA, Boise State, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Auburn, so on and so forth, right? And if you want to get the rest, go to the website, go to your dashboard. I'm going to show you how to get this. Go to your dashboard, go to your law of average pick, and then go to your, let's say we'll do NFL. I'll do NFL with you guys right now. But I think it's one of the best ways to do it when you're doing in college football to get a process of elimination, right? So Miami won against the point spread. Cincinnati won against the point spread, so nothing there. New Orleans, look at that. They've lost 3. Minnesota's lost 2. Washington, all right? So Washington is a law of average pick this week because they lost their last 2 games against the point spread. Dallas won against the point spread, so the Commanders are a 2-star law of average play this week. Look at New England. Hey, New England lost last week. Green Bay won. So you got the Patriots as a 1-star law of average play. The Buffalo Bills, a law of average play right here. Seattle Seahawks, +2. Hey, you got 2 stars against Detroit. So Seattle comes in with a law of average selection. Arizona, hey, they lost against the point spread last week where Carolina won. So Arizona falls into our law of average pick. LA Chargers taking on Houston. The Chargers come in as a law of average play this week, but you know what? I do like Houston, but again, sometimes you're it's a theory, right? And as much as you love say Houston this week, well, the law of average theory is working against you, so that indicator doesn't help you, right? The Raiders, 3-game losing streak, so this is like a 3-star play this week on the Raiders when you consider they're playing the Broncos and the 49ers. And keep in mind, this is week 4, right? Raiders aren't going to lose forever. I don't think they're going to go 0-17. But you just never know, right? You just never know. So the Raiders are a law of average play, and then the 49ers. 49ers are a law of average play against the LA Rams. All right, so that is your law of average theory. And again, you got to have a system, right? Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth, right? And as Mike Singletary would say,
our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.
I love that. I just love that clip. All right, so let me know what you guys think of that. Late, but I'm here. Let's get them W, says Ron B. Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, let's get that straight cash. So anyway, there's your law of average selections. And again, if you're doing major college football, this is one of the best ways to do it. In fact, when I gave out James Madison last week, it was one of my top plays, and it was part of a law of average indicator, right? So a good way to start your college football selections, and hopefully that helps you. And teach, win, repeat, and that's what we do right here.
I want winners.
I want winners too, Mike. All right, on the schedule next, we got the Ron's Top VPP, the daily value and percentage play, and these are all tools that I came up with, right? The one thing I love about being in this industry now 26 years and having a belief system in sports handicapping, the tools you see here, these are tools that I've built myself in my head and put them on paper, and I got to give my programmer Pradeep and his team a lot of credit, because these guys, I won't get into the story how we met. I'll get into it one day. It's probably one of the fascinating stories you'll ever hear. But yeah, so just in a nutshell, my whole programming team is in India, and I'm in Ottawa, and we've never met. Believe it or not, we've always communicated online, and we've been together 20 years. So it's one of the really amazing stories when we really get into it. But yeah, Pradeep and his team do a fantastic job, and I love those guys. All right, let's take a look at Major League Baseball, and what I'm going to do right here. Oh, there she is, my good friend.
Put that coffee down.
Gloria K is a closer, and good morning, Gloria K. Rise and shine, says Gloria, and she's got a nice happy face with a big heart, and we send you a big heart and hug back there, Gloria K. And yeah, it's not the same without Gloria K in the show, eh? That's for sure. All right, Cincinnati taking on Pittsburgh. You got a C on C type team, and you know the rules, right? We don't bet on C type teams.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never, never.
Never, never. Tampa Bay taking on Cleveland. Man, tough loss last night for the Guardians, right? But you got to tip your hat off to Tampa. Remember I said yesterday, hate going against Tampa Bay? Well, now you know why. All right, so those are teams I'm going to look at today. Kansas City, Detroit. Nope, we're not going to touch that. Atlanta taking on Washington, an A against a C. I do like Atlanta, but I don't know if I want to lay 220. Yankees in Toronto. I got to see here for the Blue Jays. Who's pitching? I didn't get a chance to see the starting pitcher today for the Blue Jays. Is it Manoah? Is Manoah going here today? Let me take a quick look here. Been busy all morning trying to update all the stats and get everything going. Let me take a look. Oh, Garrett Cole. That's right. Garrett Cole and Mitch White. Yeah, I remember that. I should have. Come on, Ron. Hey, you're getting older or what? Yankees minus 135. You know what? I can't trust Mitch White. Hey, the Dodgers traded him for a reason, right? And Garrett Cole has not been the same since the All-Star break. I'm sorry. Like, I know he's pitching a little bit better, but he's not having a... When you play for the New York Yankees, your record should be like Tyler Anderson of the Yankees, right? Of the Dodgers. 12-7 on the best team in baseball, one of the best teams, is not giving me a lot of confidence. And Garrett Cole, even though he's pitching a little bit better, did not have a good month of August, and only, let me see here, in the months of September, 2-0-2 with 2 non-stars. So not maybe the over is where you want to go in that one. Baltimore taking on Boston. Hey, Baltimore, they neutral 15 days. I do circle the Orioles here. Miami taking on the Mets. I do like the Mets in this one. I'll circle that right there. Who's going for the Metropolitans today? You got Taijuan Walker. Taijuan taking on the Jesus Luzardo, the lefty, for the Mets. Chicago taking on Minnesota. Not touching that. C on C type crime. Philadelphia taking on the Cubbies. 185. Who's going for the Phillies here? And you got Aaron Nola with his 10-1 record. See, that's what Garrett Cole needs. A 10-1 record, a 3.28 ERA. I do like Phillies, but keep in mind it is Wrigley. 30% rain, 55 degrees, wind 10 mile an hour in. So the wind's coming in today at Wrigley. St. Louis taking on the Brew Crew. Milwaukee minus 150. St. Louis is at 7-8. There's a lot of good games here today. I'm going to have to roll up my sleeve after and get into the Rain Report and look at these games. So I'll take a look at that game. Early indication. Let me see here. The St. Louis pitcher. Who's going for St. Louis today? Jose Quintana. Hey, welcome back, Jose. Quintana, when did he September 23rd? All right. Yes, Jose hasn't had a loss since August 26th. So all right, good matchup right there against Brandon Woodruff, right? Against Brandon Woodruff, and we'll see how that goes. Oakland, LA, not touching that. Arizona, Houston minus 185. Here's the thing, we're getting near close to the end of the year. You know, Yankees, Houston, all these teams that clinch, you just don't know who's going to be in their lineup, right? It's like it's tough. It's almost like preseason betting right now when taking those teams. CNC, Angels against the A's, Dodgers against San Diego. 51.3% chance today you got for the Dodgers. Let me see here. LA, Julio Urias against Joe Musgrove, and Musgrove 10-7 on the year. 3.12 ERA. Yep, pretty good. And still, ever since he got that big contract, not pitching lights out, right? Not giving me a lot of confidence. But San Diego, they're in the battle. They need to win that game. Texas, Seattle. Ooh, Seattle.
Struggling.
Yeah, struggling right there. And Colorado, San Francisco, I'm not laying 200 on San Fran. And the reason I won't bet them is because they're a C-type team. So the games I will handicap later on, and I'll put my picks up in the members area, is St. Louis, Milwaukee. I'll take a look at Philadelphia. I'll take a look at that game. I'll take the Mets. Yeah, I'll take a look at the Mets today. Baltimore, I'll take yeah, you know what? I will, because I think, who's pitching? Is it Kramer? Going for the Kramer going for the O's. Let me see here. Dean Kramer. Yeah, you know what? He's having a good year. I will take a look at this. I'm not touching this game here. Yankees, and now with Mitch White on the hill. And Tampa Bay, Cleveland, I'll handicap that game, and I will look at those games later on. All right, let me see how we doing on time. 52 minutes. You know what? Not bad. Let me handicap one game for you guys. Let me do one game, and the game I'm going to handicap is Tampa Bay, Cleveland. Let me do Tampa Bay, Cleveland. That's a pretty good game to... let me go to my MLB rain report. And Mitch White says, I got Pete Bismol on standby. Mario Sanchez says, I got my Pepto-Bismol on standby. Is that for the Blue Jay game, Mario? That's awesome. Yeah, because I used to say all the time, that's a Pepto-Bismol type game, right? Where, you know, you need your Pepto-Bismol beside it. I love that, eh? That's a good one. You get a Ric Flair for that. Yeah, you get a Ric Flair for that one for sure. All right, any soundbite requests today on a Wacky Wednesday? It is Wacky Wednesday, so if you have a wacky request for a soundbite, I love this one.
Hey, Fred, that's one of them Superman suits, ain't it?
Super fly, Bubba, super fly.
Super fly, Bubba. All right, let me talk to let's take a look at the Guardians in Tampa Bay, and who is pitching today for the Rays. Ray Day. Christopher Ogando. Wow, we got a new pitcher. Tristan Mckenzie going here for Tyler Glasnow. All right, Tyler Glasnow. Wow, welcome back, Tyler. I know he had was it elbow? Did he have Tommy John surgery? I'm not sure. I know he had issues, but wow, if Tyler Glasnow goes, I wonder if he got any pitching in. You know, I don't like taking pictures off a injury, especially a serious one like that. Let me just take a look if he had rehab assignment. Let me go to my depth chart here. Let me go to Tampa Bay. Let me go to Glasnow. Tyler Glasnow, 60-day elbow. All right, did he have any pitching done? Okay, so he went 2 innings at Norfolk, Gwinnett, and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 2 innings, no hits. Well, he got hit once against in September 13. 6 Ks last start. So 2 2/3 innings, 6 Ks, pretty good. But yeah, this is not AAA now, right? click your heels, Dorothy. We're not in Kansas anymore. We are now in Cleveland. Take Tristan Mckenzie K prop, says Bo Jackson. Definitely Pepto-Bismol. Tampa Bay Cleveland was definitely, yeah, you know what a game that was last night. Cleveland was down 4-0. They tied it up on a call they needed to go to replay. They couldn't get the run in the 10th inning. But you got to tip your hat off to Kevin Cash. The Cash man knows, right? All right, Tristan Mckenzie going today for the Guardians. They are 8-2 in the last 10. And against those B-type teams, 12-15. And looking at the, let me see, McKenzie's been a workhorse though. If you look at Tristan Mckenzie, let me go to my lineup here, and let me take a look at his last outing. 11-11 on the year. That's pretty much 500. Hasn't had a loss since August 31st. Always, last 3 starts, 7 innings or more against the White Sox, and 2 games against Minnesota. You know what? Wow. Let me see here. Let me see down here. Tampa Bay on the road after a win, 500, 17-17. And 2-0 when the line's 6. Remember yesterday I said when the line's 7, there were something like 6-1 or something like that. And I said that scares me a bit. Coming off a win in Game 1 of a series, 5-2 for the Cleveland Guardians. 0-1 when the line's 6.5. You know what? I don't see any nothing. When in doubt, get out. I'm probably leaning with Tampa Bay here. Probably gonna lean with Tampa Bay. But I'm not going to bet this game. I don't see nothing that I really, really like. Let me see this game here. Philly and the Cubbies. Let me go to the Rain report. Take the Tristan Mckenzie prop, says. All right, let me take a look at the last one here. Phillies Aaron Nola up against Hayden Wisniewski. And you know what? Neutral 3-7 last 10, but only neutral 5 days. 3-game losing streak. Yeah, let me see here. Last 7, 4-3. All right, that's why they're in a neutral. 21-17 against C-type teams. Cubbies on a 2-game win streak. You know what? I think Philly might be the play here. I think the Phillies coming off a loss. 13-21, not great. 3-10 last 30 days. Nope, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. How about the Cubbies last 30 at home, 4-6? Yeah, one in doubt, get out. So I don't like that one either. And let me take what other game I said I'd look at? St. Louis, Milwaukee. Let me take a look at that one. Yeah. And the thing is, guys, what's rule number 5 in the golden rules? Don't force a pick, right? You don't force a pick. You don't do that. Never, never. All right, so you got Cardinals taking on the Brew Crew. Brandon Woodruff. Both teams are neutral. 10-5. Milwaukee 10-5 against B-type teams. And it was a 6-2 win last night for the Cardinals. And let me take a look here at the Cards on the road after a win. Oh, look at that one. The total's 7. 2-5 on the year. 5-2 to the over. Division opponent, though, they played well against division foes. 21-13. Not too bad. Coming off a road win, pretty much 500. And on the road, last 7-6, nothing really. 2-3, division foes 21-15. Coming off a loss, 20-15. Coming off a loss as a home underdog, 5-3. And at home, 9-6. Yeah, you know what? I think Milwaukee's the play. I think with Woodruff going up against Quintana, I would lean towards Milwaukee. And as Stone Cold would say,
and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
All right, so I think Milwaukee will be the play here today. All right, let's get to, we all know the answer.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
How silly is that? All right, we're talking about the 80% Club. You can get the 80% Club each and every day right here at atsstats.com. And it goes like this. Anytime the Orioles are a 120-140 road favorite coming off a loss against a American League East division opponent last 10 years, the under is 12-1. The Braves 18-3 as a road team coming off a game that went over the total this season. The Astros 11-2 as a 180-200 home favorite after a non-conference game the last 3 years. The Brew Crew, which I just liked, is 11-2 as a 140-160 home favorite coming off a 2-game losing streak. And that's my mic drop today for Wacky Wednesday, September 28. All right, that is the show today for a Wacky Wednesday, September 28. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button. And again, teach, win, repeat. That's what we did here today. Taught you guys a little bit of the law of average theory. And I think it's one of the best ways to do a process elimination when you're doing your handicapping. And here's the thing. When you're doing your law of the average theory, look at the team. Are they an A, B, or C type team, right? And you know where I stand with the percentage play. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm done betting Dodgers. No more Dodgers for me. Always losing when I bet them, says Solo Rider. Hey, Coach, would you look at the under in the Red Sox-Oriole game? All right, we can do that before we head on out of here. Let's take a look at the Orioles and the Red Sox game right here for my good friend Nico Kelly. And where's Nico from? Where are you from, Nico? Hey, are you just give me a shout out where you're from, so this way I can say, hey, Nico Kelly from, maybe New York or something. I don't know, Toronto. All right, let me go to the what game do you want again? Orioles and Red Sox. Yeah, that's it. Orioles, Red Sox. All right, here we go. Baltimore taking on Dean Kramer, going up against Rich, King of the Hill. You know what? Pretty good pitching matchup right there, especially with Kramer going. And if you look at Kramer, hey, you know me, I'm always butchering these guys' names, so apologies to Dean Kramer. Let me see here. Where's that Boston game? There it is. All right, Dean Kramer, 3.07 ERA. How about the last couple of starts? Only one loss since August 16th. He's a killer. Look at the workhorse. Yeah, went 9 innings. Here's the only thing that little concerns me in that total. Dean Kramer went 9 innings last, and he pitched 106. That's a lot of pitches, right? So be careful with that. Rich, King of the Hill, lefty. Hey, we got a lefty, a southpaw. Last start. Rich has only got 1 win since September 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Only 1 win last 5 games, and he's only averaging like 4 innings. Not good. I think the over, right off my instincts are kicking into the over, just because Kramer went too many pitches last game. And let me see some of the other numbers. Let me go down here. Let me take a look at my stats down here. What's the total? Total is 9. And when Baltimore's on the road, total is 9, 4-8 to the under. Division opponent 21, 11-2 on the road. Not good. My instincts are telling me over. My instincts are telling me over right now for Boston. But what's the weather tonight in Boston? The one thing in Beantown, if is it like a cold night tonight in Boston? Let me see. 64 degrees, 3% chance of wind. 5 mile an hour left to right, so the wind won't be a big factor tonight. Shouldn't be. Let me see, 5-4-2 to the over, 9-7. I think the over. My gut instinct tells me the over, just because Kramer went too many innings last game, and the Rich King of the Hill is not lasting a lot of. Here's the thing, lefty. How does Baltimore hit lefties? Let me see this versus lefties. Versus left-handed pitchers, 9, 12-2, 11-2. Yeah, so nothing really earth-shattering, right? And it's near that 500 medium, so I like that. I think the over is where I would have a glance at. All right, O's more over. Let's do it. Says Timmy Two Shoes, Virginia, but I went to school in Denver. Says Nico Kelly. All right, so Nico Kelly from the Big V. Hey, the Big V, Virginia. All right, Pradeep and Pradeep. I don't know what your TSM says. All right, thanks, Coach Nico Kelly. And thank you guys for watching the show each and every day right here on our YouTube channel. All right, that's a wrap. Hey, where's my Ed McMahon hook? I'm out of here. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back here on a Thirsty Thursday. Cheers.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Joe own the Chiefs.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here?
Woo!
If you smile, but the rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.